What's up, guys? Out front of my sixplex that I purchased last year, off market for $845,000. This was available on my off-market buyers list, but no one wanted to take up this opportunity, so I bought it myself, and I'm excited to show you guys where we're at and where we're going with this project. Let's head inside and take a look. So I'm in one of the units. This sixplex is located in Windsor, Ontario. It's a legal 6-unit building with 2 extra units in the basement. It also has a detached double-car garage out back. And when we purchased this property, it was fully occupied and it had a long list of work orders. One of the biggest things was the emergency staircase in the back needed to get repaired or replaced. And we did replace it. We're about 99% complete, so I'll show you that later. And we used the work orders to our advantage in order to vacate the building. It's a 100-year-old building. It's been neglected over the years and it's really not in habitable condition. So we were able to negotiate with some of the tenants cash for keys, and some of them we had to take through the landlord-tenant board, and that was a whole process in itself. I hired a paralegal, and maybe I'll get into the details in another video, but for the sake of this video, let's take a tour. This unit is 2 bedroom, 1 bath, and all 6 units are identical and pretty much the same layout. So we're in the living room, and one thing that I do want to mention is it's a boiler heating, which is very inefficient and very expensive, and me as the landlord, I'm paying the heating cost for the whole building. So we're going to transfer that to electric heating, mini split ductless heat pumps, and that way the tenants can pay for their own heating and cooling costs. Let's check it out and I'll give you guys the tour. So we got 1 bedroom over here. It's a decent size. All the bedrooms have a closet and a window, which is ideal. We're gonna redo the entire kitchen, new cupboards, new sink, new countertop, new backsplash, pretty much new everything, the whole 9 yards. And this will do for the tenants, new appliances as well. And then we're gonna transition back there to the other bedroom and the bathroom. So this is the front main entrance, and where I was standing just now in the kitchen, right behind me was the other exit where the emergency stairs are. We'll show you that later. And here's the bathroom and the other bedroom. Now we're on the 3rd floor, so we have a nice view of the Detroit skyline. You can see the GN Renaissance Center from here, which is one of the best views in the city. And we're gonna take down these plaster walls and replace it with drywall and make sure it's soundproof properly so the tenants don't have to hear each other. We're expecting to spend about $50,000 for each unit, and overall it's gonna cost $400,000 to $500,000 with the exterior and the common elements. So we're gonna touch up the hallways, the exterior, whatever needs to be done. I wanna hold this property for the long term. The goal is to get it renovated, rented out, and then refinance to pull out my capital, and that way we can rinse and repeat. I'm in the common hallway on the 3rd floor. It has terrazzo flooring, which is really sharp. We just want to polish it and keep these old school features for the building. It is a heritage building. In the city of Windsor, there are 2 types of heritage buildings, designated and registered. So this is on the registered list, which still allows us to do some renovations without too much red tape going through the city. And we're gonna touch up the walls, paint it, and bring it back to life. And this hallway is massive. It does take up quite a bit of square footage, which kind of sucks. But the good thing is these 2 apartments are separate, so the soundproofing shouldn't be an issue. But behind me, the walls do touch where the kitchen is, but at least not the whole units are touching. It's just one part of the apartment, and it allows that soundproof separation. All right, guys, we're heading into the other unit right across the hallway, again on the 3rd level. Let's check it out. It's slightly a different layout, but more or less it is a mirror image of that unit. Just the bedrooms are both back to back over there, and this is the living area. This unit was in rougher shape, and some of the other units are even worse shape, so we'll show you those later. But let's check out the layout. You got this long skinny hallway. We got 1 bedroom here. You actually have this bathroom in between the 2 bedrooms, 2nd bedroom here, and the kitchen. Again, emergency exit that goes to the emergency stairs that we just replaced, and we have the electric panel here that will get upgraded as well. One thing I want to point out is they cut a hole through here to have the joists for the emergency stairs go inside the building, and we're going to support it with the inside wall. So that's one thing that had to be done, was the joists are going into every single unit for support. And you can see it right up here. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You want to know about the numbers. I'll get to that in a moment and how I financed this deal. But first, we're in the basement where there is a old laundry room right behind the cameraman. We're going to add ensuite laundry to all of the units. That way we can command a higher rent, and it's going to be easier to rent out once we have ensuite laundry. That way tenants don't have to go to a common area. Now we have 2 extra units here, total of 8. It is a legal 6-plex, so these 2 units are not legal. We'll see if we can legalize those or just use it for storage. And we have the utility room right behind me. Let's head inside. Here down in the utility room, some of these lights are on motion sensors, so it might get dark on me, but this is an investor's dream when you see all these hydrometers, 7 hydrometers, 1 for each legal unit, and then a 7th hydrometer for the common area, the hallways, the exterior lighting. We have the boiler system, so it's a newer boiler within the last 5 years, so it is a shame to rip this out to replace it, but we gotta do what we gotta do. There is 1 hot water tank for all of the units, and back there is just storage. It was packed full of stuff and we had to clear it out. Previous owner used one of these units as his office, so he put like a half bath here. There's an entrance right behind the camera guy for the back of 1 unit, and then through that hallway we were just at, there's the entrance for the other unit. And there's also this maintenance door back here to get out of the basement for maintenance reasons. One more thing before I forget, guys, this right here is the fire panel for the fire system, fire alarm system, and that's going to save us a ton of money because it's already existing. Maybe we can do some upgrades. It also had an intercom system, so if you have a guest, they can just buzz in and you can let them in rather than running all the way down, letting your friend in, or Uber Eats or what have you. That one's not working. That is here, so we're going to look to upgrade that and see how much that costs. What's really nice about this property is it's gated, so it's gated parking. I'll also look into an automatic gate opener, otherwise you have to manually push it and close it. We have that double car garage behind me, and this property actually sits on 1.5, maybe 2 lots. And the reason I say that is on the other side of this block, there's actually 2 houses on the same footprint. So basically where the garage is, if we demolish that, maybe you could get away with building a small house, but then you would kill the parking, so you have to give and take and weigh out the pros and cons. I'll probably just keep it as is. I can clear out some more trees and put more parking spots for the tenants. We also have a nice yard area. There could be a picnic table, a barbecue for the tenants, double car garage for parking, driveway. Can clear out these trees for more parking. And this is the emergency stairs that just got replaced. It's about 98% complete. There's some finishing touches that need to be done, but we're almost there. So we'll add some photos of the stairs, how they look like before. They're all rotten and very unsafe. So I'm glad we were able to get this rectified and fixed for the tenants, existing tenants and future tenants. And I had to hire a designer, engineer for the stamp, and go through the permit process. We got the permit approved, took a couple months or so. Those costs weren't too high. It was about $1,500 for the drawings, a couple $100 for the engineer's stamp. So initially I was contemplating, do I go with steel stairs or wooden stairs? And the steel stairs were going to be like double the cost. I know it's going to last way longer, but cost wise it just made sense to go with the wooden stairs. It's about $58,000 plus tax, material and labor. Now there were some surprises that the contractor didn't account for, so that's going to increase the cost a little bit. Shouldn't get too crazy, but $65,000 I'm expecting plus tax. Not bad. It is 3.5 stories, so just comes with the territory. So let's talk about how I was able to finance this deal. Once again, I bought it for $845,000. Pretty good price in Windsor. And that being said, I was able to negotiate a VTB seller financing with the seller in second position for $170,000 at a very reasonable interest rate, 5% interest only for 2 years. The rest of the building was financed with a construction loan. So about $500,000, $550,000 or so was to purchase the property. And then the remaining $400,000 and some change is for the renovation. So as we move forward on the renovations, we reached 25% complete on this project. The lender's going to release a draw for that portion. And then as we move forward, The next 20-25%, I'm gonna get another draw. And then they do a 10% holdback. That's a law in Ontario. So once the renovations are done, they hold back 10% total, and then that gets released 60 days after the project is completed. And that's just a law. It's nothing to do with the lender. It's to make sure that all the contractors got paid and there's no liens on the property. As you guys saw, we haven't done a ton of work on the interior. We just did the emergency stairs. We wanted to vacate the entire building before renovating all 6 apartments and plus the basement. Now, this isn't my first rodeo. I did a similar project. You guys can actually go back and watch the video that we uploaded for a 7-plex where I'm office hacking, and I purchased that property with a private lender as well with a construction loan, and it is very expensive, paying 10% interest, super high, but that's the cost of doing business these days, and that way we can refinance and get traditional bank financing for the long run. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, that way you can follow along. I'll do more updates as we start the renovations, and then you guys can see the finished product, and stay tuned for more updates.